As we conclude our singular pre-race show, keep in mind that one reason this race is such a special event and draws such a huge crowd is because it takes place on Memorial Day weekend. For more on why Memorial Day is special for a member of this racing community, let's head trackside to our Matt Yoakum. Matt?
Chris, 3.5 decades ago, an 18-year-old farm boy from rural North Carolina nearly paid the ultimate sacrifice defending our country. While other soldiers were not as fortunate, their memories now forever etched in granite found at addresses like 35 West and the Vietnam Veterans Wall. Darrell Andrews returned home with a battered body and bruised heart to a life changed forever. He now wears the uniform of Kyle Petty's team. 35 years ago, Darrell Andrews wore a much different uniform.
I graduated from high school in June of 1966, and my notice came several weeks later. My platoon sergeant, everybody called him Pops, and when we stepped off the chopper, he met us, shook hands with us, and said, "Welcome to Pops' platoon." He said, "We're here to kick ass and take names and win this war." I had a mortar round to go off virtually in my back pocket and took a blast from the rear. My left arm penetrated through to my lungs, my rib cage, my right leg, my left ear, just a lot of lacerations from the blast.
Darrell was awarded 2 Purple Hearts. After doctors saved his life, he spent 4 long months in Walter Reed Hospital, and then it was home to Siler City, North Carolina.
Darrell, after you were wounded and medevaced out, what happened to your old unit?
I ran into the doc that kept me alive till medevac got me out, and he had told me that approximately 18 days after I was hit, they had walked into an NVA ambush, and a lot of the boys were killed and lost their lives, and the company had taken heavy casualties. It wasn't something, you know, that a teenager would look forward to at the time, but duty calls and we had to serve our country.
Darrell, while there was a war going on overseas, there was also another war going on here back in the States.
And it's 1, 2, 3, what are we fighting for? Don't ask me, I don't give a damn. The next stop is Vietnam.
I never did talk about the war, you know, because you never knew what people was thinking. You know, so it's just a subject that I, quite honestly, avoided.
He also avoided visiting the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Wall.
Deep down inside, I didn't want to see it.
Why did you dread going?
A lot of the guys that I was with didn't make it home. And I just, at that time, didn't want to deal with that. It's part of my life I had been wanting to block out.
Eventually, he made the heart-wrenching trek.
Then I started at the end of the wall and made my journey down through the wall and was holding up real well until I got to the far end where the statues are. And when I came to that's when it all hit me, and I really broke down and had to deal with it.
When you are a soldier.
Our racetrack has always been a festival of color and pageantry, but in our post-September 11th world, the colors have taken on a dominant theme. For many, Vietnam lacked in moral clarity, so it's ironic that the recent American success in war has brought some Vietnam veterans a sense of peace.
It's very rewarding that finally people acknowledge that we weren't the scum of the earth over there, you know, in what we did, you know, fighting for our country.
There is shrapnel still in his body, but Darrell is proud that he still fits into his old uniform. Nowadays, he runs his own trucking company and works on Kyle Petty's race team. To service cars, pit crews jump over the wall. In Washington, D.C., there is a much different wall, a wall that serves a far greater purpose.
For you, what is the lesson of Memorial Day?
It's time to realize and evaluate and be thankful for the price of freedom. Freedom does not come cheap for our country.
The first one in, the last one gone. I'll be the rock to stand up